On the front line in Afghanistan, the battle with the Taliban remains fierce, fighting that's left 15 UK soldiers dead already this month. Away from the conflict zone, a war of words in London, political parties battling for the upper hand. The argument centres around resources and equipment for the forces. On the offensive, Tory leader David Cameron, who says helicopter numbers have not risen in relation to an increase in troop numbers.
The government must deal with that issue as a matter of extreme emergency. But it would not be in our national interest to scale back Britain's commitment to building a better and more stable world, which in the long run will actually help make it less likely that we'll need to send our forces in the future to places like Afghanistan to protect our security here at home.
On the defensive is Prime Minister Gordon Brown, who is insisting UK soldiers have what they need in southern Afghanistan, but acknowledged the last few weeks had been a sad and difficult time for Britain, reflecting on the 8 soldiers who died in a 24-hour period and the ones named yesterday.
Is it at times of loss and sadness like these that we become ever more aware of the service and sacrifice our armed forces make for our country. In 2009, the case for our continued involvement is the same: to prevent terrorist attacks here in Britain and across the world by dealing with the terrorist threat at its source, that crucible of terror on the border and mountain areas of Afghanistan and Pakistan.
Mr Brown says the number of helicopters has increased by 60% since 2006, and more than £1 billion has gone on mastiff vehicles and the Ridgeback armoured carriers, which are on their way to Afghanistan later this year. He says the operation abroad, known as Panther's Claw, is succeeding in taking the fight to the Taliban.
When we go into towns and villages and districts in Helmand, our forces are supported by Afghan army and police, who with our help can hold the ground we are clearing and prevent the Taliban from returning.
The military operation is to clear out insurgents from Helmand province ahead of Afghan elections in August. After then, the UK's soldier numbers will be reviewed.